Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a ShPTK TVP, or Shrek as we like to call it. It's a tier 8 Swedish premium... Swedish? It's a tier 8Czechoslovakian premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Malinovka under the command of the BassmanFromHell, and he's in platoon with Katrina in the ShPTK, and you can see her directly behind him at the moment. Okay, what can I tell you about the Shrek? Well, it's got very light armor, but it's got a very fast firing gun with a 100mm caliber, and he's just spotted an enemy's tank, light tank located behind the bushes, a T-52, who obviously was spotting, did get spotted himself, and when he decided to put a round in just in case the guy was still there. Okay, the Shrek is actually quite good, although it is very narrow, and it's very lightweight on the armor, which means it is very vulnerable. That T-52 came back, and this time round, yeah, the baseman didn't miss, and he got a shot in. Now, the 100mm gun is capable of doing 250 alpha, 270mm pen with standard ammo. With the heat rounds, it's capable of 330mm. Okay, Katrina's arrived, and their job is to block the enemy from coming over the hill, and also take targets of opportunity when they present themselves. The alpha of this gun, 250, you can't do a huge amount of damage each shot, but it's for fast fire, as I said. That's the main advantage of this one. The standard by the book reload is 5 seconds. Just check that, 5.18. And you can see Baseman here has 4.29. Now, he may not be a heavy hitter, but Katrina is. She's in the SU-130PM. She's got a 13cm main gun, capable of doing 520 alpha. And so, yes, Katrina can do a lot of damage. They're both in Reborn, by the way. Okay, enemy force seen on the hill. They're not making themselves visible, which is good for them, but bad for us at the moment. And we are losing tanks, and that was a Contradictus, which is one of the new tanks that just come into play. A Junior and a VK. Go for the VK, he gets the hit with his first shot there, and that's a high roll for 262. Just a fraction of a second too late on that one. It is a fast firing gun. Oh, he got the Junior. There's that Contradictus. Well, Contradictious, I should say, actually. It's dictious at the end. Well, there's a dick in it anyway. I know, I had to do that one. It was just too funny. What a name to give a tank. Anyway, getting back to normal. Just the other day, of course, Klaus was taking or making fun of the announcer who was doing the Christmas presentation, because he had a British accent and he thought he sounded very stuffy. Well, we all tend to sound a bit stuffy in Britain. I don't know where it comes from. I was pointing out to Wargaming that they could have saved themselves a lot of money on hiring somebody to play Santa in the Jason Statham video, because of course I actually do look like Santa. I've got the big white bushy beard, big white bushy hair, and I'm actually overweight, so obviously I fill the clothes quite well, just like Santa does. So they could have hired me, just as they actually hired the other content creators for free. In fact, actually, I think they didn't actually work for free. I think they did get paid for it. Of course, they get the Christmas boxes. But we certainly saw skill, and we saw Quickie, shouldn't call him that. We'll call him Voldemort, yes, because we saw Voldemort in the video, and Daki, and several other German presenters as well.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
So now he's got 2 kills, but we're 1 down on the enemy. The enemy has kind of captured the hill. You notice how Bassman is actually creating quite a nice little nest, which makes it very, very difficult for the enemy to come down from that hill. Because if they do, they're going to be... we're going to use the bush mechanic in a big way to stop them. Katrina is behind us at the moment. Oh, there's the contradictious. Ooh, now that was interesting. You've got 228, which is the low roll.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
But he is getting the concentration skill. Oh, and he's shredding these tanks. Brilliant play.
You can go through.
Oh, that one didn't go. Okay, that one did. It's that fast-firing nature of this tank. It's so useful if you come across a lot of enemy trying to make an attack. Well, the interesting thing now is that he's actually moving up the hill. So he's got a spot for the team whilst he's up here. And of course, Katrina is going to be behind him. Oh, we found someone. It's a VK. He did get spotted. Let's see what he can do. Because remember, he's got very little armor on this tank. So he doesn't want to get hit. Oh, wipes the guy out. Here comes the enemy Arty. Now there's 2 enemy Arty. They've got a GW Panther and SU-8, and I suspect that that might have been the SU-8. Can't prove it. The SU-8 is now one of the fastest firing Artys at tier 6. And we've poked ourselves out as far as we can. Unfortunately, we did lose the tank. We lost the M6 to the enemy Nomad. And there's the Nomad. Is it going to be worth exposing? No, it's not, because the Nomad has been killed and it was taken out by our OI. It's a tier 8 game with tier 6 tanks in it. So we're 1 above the enemy now. The thing is, in this battle, if you watched it, at one point we were losing quite badly, and then the Bassman and Katrina both put on their big pants, or their man pants as Jingles would call it, and came into action, and now basically they are carrying the team. He's been the sole one scouting for his team. Of course, Bassman is very, very good at light tank work. He's not in a light tank. He's actually in a tank destroyer. You can notice how he's playing this. He's trying to avoid getting hit. There's the enemy RT trying to hit him. In fact, it was this guy that spotted him, the E25. We lost our driver to a 75mm round, but he's back in. No, he's not back in action yet. Come on, Bassman. You need to get him back in. And there's a Baguette trying to hit us. There's only 4 enemies remaining now. That Baguette, an 88 and 2 Arty. So I think now we can start taking advantage of the enemy. He's put the driver back in, so we're fully capable. He's sneaking up on that Baguette. Of course, at this moment, he's unspotted to the Arty, and that's why there's no fire coming in his direction. He's going to sneak round this corner. Katrina is covering him from behind. The Baguette might spot him as he goes across this area here. And there, he's found the 88, but he did get spotted. He pumps 1 in to get the hit. Can he get the kill? Yes, he does. And that happens to be his top gun. He did get hit in the tracks by the Baguette, but he's found the SU-8. And the SU-8 goes down to Katrina, who was... and he's even blocking shots from the Baguette, who's firing down from the hill. And it looks like Katrina's going up the hill to try and deal with him. Now we're heading towards the cap area, and she's found him. Now, is she going to go in? She's got more than enough hit points to deal with him. We're looking for that GW Panther as well. He avoided the cap area, and they managed to kill the Baguette. And it was Katrina who got it. And now it just means the GW Panther to win the game. And there he is. Now, can we get it? And the kill shot goes to Katrina, which means that I think she managed to get a Pascucci's. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a second-class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the Shrek, the ShPTK TVP. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. At one point during the game, he was actually rather acting as a light tank, looking for the enemy rather than actually hunting it like a tank destroyer would. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and because he was in platoon with Katrina, and they both managed to get at least 3 kills. In fact, Katrina ended up getting 5 kills in the end, one short of getting a Top Gun. They both managed to come out with the brothers in arms because they entered the battle together, and they were both in platoon at the end. And well, we can see that Bassman managed to get a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills in the game. His win rate was 2,145, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in that game actually went to Katrina with 3,383 hit points, and Katrina picked up a Brothers in Arms. She also got a Pascucci's medal, and she got the high caliber out of that as well. Very well played. And it's a super unicum score on the win 8. 4,562. So that's a very, very good score indeed. When it came to Bassman, he managed 1,604 hit points, but he wasn't in second place on damage. No, he was actually in 4th place, because the GW Panther on the enemy team managed 1,917 in second place, and their Contradictious managed to get 1,830 before we see Bassman with 1,604. So, when it came to kills though, it's the Bassman. Yes, he got 6 kills in that game. 5 kills went to Katrina, and 3 kills went to the Nomad on the enemy team, followed by their Contradictious and ROI. And when it came to base XP, Bassman's got that one as well. In fact, he's the only one to get over 1,000 base in the game with 1,018, with Katrina getting 884, and the 3rd place goes to the M6, who got 718. Let's have a look at detail. Well, you can see that Bassman fired 20 rounds in the game. He got 13 direct hits on the enemy and 11 penetration. This tank destroyer does actually carry 66 rounds, so he was barely breaking a sweat in this game. He got 13 direct hits on the enemy, 11 penetrations, no splash, of course, 1,604 hit points, of which 893 were at more than 300 meters. So there was some close range stuff in the game. He received 5 hits from the enemy. 3 of those were penetrations, 2 non-penetrations. I did say it's basically very, very thin armor. So yes, shells will go through. The thickest armor on the vehicle is actually 65 millimeters, and that's at the front of the hull and the turret. So you really don't want to get hit by any shell, but he was taking on the enemy at very close range and still getting the better of them. And he blocked a few shots with his tracks. In fact, I think it was the Baguette that fired around and accidentally hit his tracks instead. He blocked damage of 135 hit points. Yes, that's the 75mm gun on the Baguette. 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 1,490 hit points of spotting assist in that game. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 84,615 credits for the game, including compensation for holiday ops of 36,198. And he also took away 4,734 experience points out of the game as well. So very well played, because at one point they were behind. The enemy gained control of the hill. They had the new tanks up there, the Contradictious, and it didn't look very good. But yes, Bassman and Katrina turned it around, and they won the game by basically just tearing the enemy apart bit by bit. And then, of course, Bassman went into light tank mode and found the rest of the enemy to make the win certain. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.